Dan Fay, how we doing, fella?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Yourself?
Yes, mate, really well, really well. Thank you for joining me on Zero Pucks Given.
No
So,
worries.
tough night last night, defeat down at Invicta. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a tough one. I think it's like also like we're playing well at the moment. I think like recently we're picking up form again. We're having good training sessions. It's just like fighting them games, like going late into the game. We sort of struggled towards in the end of the third period. Um, but overall, I didn't think it was a bad game. They just capitalised on them small mistakes we made.
Yeah,
Um, and obviously like finishing the game and got the 2 points. But we do need to be better in closing them games out, and I think that will come. It's starting to gel quite nicely now. We get in. The lines are pretty consistent. People playing, training together. It's a good group of guys. I think
yeah,
everyone gets on well with each other. It's just need to get that performance on the ice now.
love it. Do you think these one game weekends aren't really doing us any favours because you can't get into a stride, can you?
It's there's two ways of looking at it. Some ways it's nice because when you've got the 2 game weekend, especially if you've been training, working, etc., all through the week, by like the third period Sunday, you're knackered.
You're knackered,
But
yeah.
then also, if you're resting that whole Saturday, and then going into Sunday, especially if they've had a game on the Saturday, I do think they tend to come out straight off the starting blocks. Like
Yeah,
as well, Invicta had a big defeat to Slough the night before, so you can see they were hungry. They definitely wanted it. It was quite a high tempo game, I think. Um, and yeah, they definitely brought it to us at the beginning of the game.
yeah. I mean, obviously that's the second time we've played Invicta now since the cup final was confirmed that it will be against them. Once we play that cup final, it will actually be 8 times we played them before we
Yeah,
even get into the playoffs. And the way it's sitting at the moment, we'll play them in the playoffs as well. So it's
yeah, we seem to be playing them loads.
yeah, there's
Um,
certainly a rivalry there as well, isn't there? So
Oh yeah, it's definitely a good. I enjoy playing them games, like especially now Invicta's open both sides of that rink. Like I think the
yeah.
atmosphere last night was like unbelievable, especially after Rayner's fight. Like the building was popping. I think Jib said to us on the bench, he's like, "Listen," and that's good to hear.
Well, I mean, a few obviously. I mean, I've shared the video of Rayner's fight. That was the video was taken from the sort of the Chelmsford's fans' perspective. I've seen it from the other side as well,
Yeah,
from the Invicta fans, and you can just see all the Chelmsford fans going mental. I would imagine at the game at the time, I think we were 5-3 down at the time, that it would have been a right that if you get on there, ruffle them feathers, the crowd will get up, we'll get up, and then we can go again. And then we had the late power play, and they nicked a shorty, didn't they?
yeah. I think after that, it definitely died down after that short-handed goal.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, straight after the scrap, I couldn't actually see it properly. So I was like, you know what the benches are like in Invicta, like the wrong way
Yeah.
round. So I'm right at the back of the bench because my laces snapped during the game. So I'm
Oh, bloody
changing them. Yeah, so I'm changing them over and like just miss like 2 minutes of the game, and it's the 2 minutes where everything happens. Um, but then, yeah, like obviously, like Jim started saying, listen to that, and they were amazing last night. Like the drums going, like screaming, like you could hear that. I know we're closer to them, but like they drowned out half the Invicta fans for most of the night.
yeah. It's I think we're one of the best supported teams on the travel, and always make a load of noise. And most of the rinks are actually laid out quite well. That the away fans tend to be quite close to the away bench, so you can kind of get that boost. And particularly down Solent is the same. I think Romford's the same as well, so you can hear us coming. So it's your first season with the Chieftains.
Yeah,
Did you obviously played a little bit north as well? So was it Widnes you played?
Widnes. Yeah, so I lived up north for a bit. Like my dad's family are from up there, so I moved up there and went to uni up
Yeah,
there. I then had I think 2 seasons there, and then when yeah, so two seasons there, and then COVID happened, and so obviously the uni's all closed, everything shut down. So I come back home that year,
yeah,
and then yeah, we went to Bracknell for a year in that Spring Cup, but obviously that rink shut as well,
yeah,
which is a shame. Um, but yeah, then obviously last season was in Romford with Mark as well, and then when we got the call about coming to Chelmsford, I couldn't say no.
No.
It's
And
always
Mark
been
was a big part of that, was he?
I've known Mark for quite a while. Obviously, he was at Bracknell as well before I moved up north.
Yeah.
We got on with him quite well. So when he called me in the summer, I was all in. Like my first senior game for Bracknell was actually against Chelmsford in the old rink. I remember I think it was a few days after I turned 16. Go up, and it's on that old rink where the away changing rooms were, like almost where the home changing room is now.
Yeah.
And you have to walk through all the Chelmsford fans to get onto the ice. And I remember being so nervous, like I was shaking. Like it was a proper like wake up call. And I think we lost like 10-1 that game as well.
Oh,
it wasn't good.
Is there a difference really between the north and the south? Because a few people know that I'm going to be on 3-on-3 podcast this week, and they're all kind of northern based. A lot of the elite league teams are all northern based, and I kind of feel it's almost a bit like rugby league in that sense that the north feels that ice hockey belongs to them. So is it a better standard up there?
It's a weird one. I think like the overall standard I wouldn't say is better. But then you've got some teams like Solway, for example. Like that's an amazing team.
Yeah.
Like their depth, like they'd smoke anyone in the country. But I was speaking to one of my mates. I think it's because obviously, like if you look at the National League, a lot of the teams are in the south. So there's that jump. So like there's less teams in the north in the National League. So that jump up to the Elite League or to their national team, there's less spots. So then that almost makes some of them teams like a better level at each, like at the lower levels.
Yeah.
It's kind of a hard one. Like now playing both, I'd say it's probably like a bit more physical. I remember my first year up there, like I was just getting smoked left, right, and centre. Like there, but I wouldn't say the standard's better. I think the standard down here is just as good as well. Like I think it'd be interesting to play some of them teams and see what happens, because I think there'll be some good games there.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult logistically, isn't it? Especially in the NIHL 1 to play the northern teams. But I think it's something that could potentially be looked at for pre-season, and to play someone from the NIHL 1 North, sort of home and away. It'd be quite interesting to see the outcome of that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'd like, especially now we've played quite a few of the teams up there as well. I've made a few friends up there. It'd be good to play against them again.
Yeah.
Make for a good long road trip as well.
Yeah.
Should be fun. But yeah, it's like the distances. Like that's the other thing up north is the teams are so much spread out. So I remember when we were up there, I think we went up to Scotland and coming down to Coventry. Like it's a lot of distance you've got to travel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
The south with Solent and we used to have Bristol and Cardiff. We got in the NIHL too, but yeah, up north they are so spread out. And obviously the National League, it's Bristol up to, I think it's up to Hull Seahawks. I think is a long old trip.
Hull's a bit of a trek. Yeah.
Yeah, but so have you obviously when you played at a few different places? Have you always worn number 47?
No, I had a few numbers. So I started as 23. I think it was just what was in the bag, like just got given. And then I remember it was under 18s at Bracknell. The 23 shirt was the goalie shirt. So they're like, you can't wear that one. So I was like, I'll take 18. So I wore 18 all through Widnes, like through the rest of Bracknell, all of that. And then when I come back to do the Spring Cup, someone was already 18. So I was like, I'll choose 47. And then again, the same was at Romford, and now it's just sort of stuck. So I couldn't change it now.
No, now you're kind of stuck with it. I thought it was quite interesting because I had Nick Hyde from Life Financial on last week, who sort of owns and loans your home shirt.
Yeah, I've spoken to him a few times.
And he also does Chris Beckett, so he's got 47 and 74.
Yeah. People have mentioned that one a few times before. with me and Chris. But yeah, like there's no reason. It's just hopefully now it's a bit of a strange number, so it's not going to be taken ever again. But yeah, no, I'm happy with it now. Stuck with it.
Now, from a little bit of I mean, the research that I've been doing has changed from elite prospects because it's burnt me bad a couple of times into just stalking people's social medias. Did you get involved with a bit of coaching with the women's side in Widnes?
Yeah. So obviously I was up at uni there, and like I was on my own, so there wasn't, apart from going out drinking and all of that, which is probably best I didn't do. And we only trained once a week at the time. So one of my mates who we were playing with, he's like, "Oh, do you want to help me like push pucks round, come on the other day and help coach the women's team?" So I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. So come down, and then after a while, they're like, "Oh, like, can you like look after the D? Like, tell me what needs to be done here." Just like a few experiences from like what I've gained. I'm not saying I'm a coach in any way, shape or form, but it's what I've been taught. It'd be good to pass on to a couple of other people.
Yeah.
So we ended up going on the bench and coaching with them pretty much full time for the year. We ended up winning the league that year, which was quite a good achievement.
Yeah. Is that something you think for the future, maybe when you're done playing?
Maybe. Like, I do quite like the coaching, but obviously, like, still quite early on in the career, so I don't know enough. Like, I feel bad if I'm coaching people for stuff like which I can't do. I almost feel like I've got to be able to do it before telling someone how to do it, if that makes sense.
Were you always a D man then?
I've tried playing forward a few times, like a few games, but pretty much I've always been D.
Yeah,
it's
you've not got bad hands for a D man. Actually, you do move the puck quite well.
Yeah, it's not pretty seeing me forward. I know where to be as a D. It's like your position. It feels natural. As soon as I'm like above the puck and all of that, I feel out of place. It's a bit of a strange one.
Yeah. And for a D man, you have scored, I think, the latest goal I've ever seen in ice hockey. It was a few weeks ago, I think, on the defeat up into Victor.
I didn't score it.
Did someone tip it in?
Yeah, Frankie got a tip to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I thought, actually, I saw it going in, but then I could see him sliding across. I think he would have got it. So I think Frankie did tip that just low enough so that it did go in.
There was literally 100th of a second left on the clock when it went in the back of the net. You could all kind of see on your faces, you're like, why are we even bothering getting into position to restart? The puck's not even going to hit the ice before the buzzer goes.
Yeah.
But, that's that would be something for Simon, who's been doing a bit with the website. He might have to go back through and change some of his stats if you're saying Frankie tipped that in.
Yeah, no, I don't like to admit it, but I have got to give it to Frankie. It was his first Chieftain goal as well, so I can't be taking that from him.
Will that not have been your first Chieftain one? I think you did get one earlier.
I got one in Gosport, the first game of the season.
8-4.
Yeah. So, I think that's the only one. I'm not a big goal scorer. It's just stick to playing in D.
Yeah. Well, obviously playing in the north and south, you must have played in pretty much every rink in the country. Have you got a favourite and a least favourite?
My least favourite by far is Bradford. That is awful. It's basically like it's a bingo hall on the ground floor. Yeah. You got to go up the steps to the ice rink. You then go up the steps again to the changing rooms. You then got to come back down the steps fully kitted with your skate guards on because the steps made of concrete. Yeah. To then go on the ice. And I'm like, that is awful.
Got the potential of going on the ice with your skate guards on them, which is an error.
Yeah, that's not. Don't do that.
No, we did hear earlier I think it was episode 13. I had a couple of the refs on from the Elite League, and one of them at Chelmsford went on the ice with his skate guards on. And
yeah, I've done it a few times at training. Luckily, never at a game. But
no, not when anyone's watching.
Yeah, it's not. Well, the worst one is a few of the boys. They put a bit of leg tape on the bottom of your skates. Try and play a few jokes, and that's got me a few times. But
did you have any sort of initiation at the Chieftains?
like a lot goes on all the time. Like probably I can't say a lot of it.
No, we've got to keep it cleanish.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there wasn't really anything. Like we've done a few dumb stuff and all of that, but nothing particular.
No. So if, back to the rink thing there. If Bradford's the worst rink, have you got a favourite one?
Favourite one? Well, the favourite one I probably played in was actually in Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we did the same thing George Gell did. I did it the year before, the Universiad. We went to Siberia, and that rink was like something else. The ice was like skating on glass, like the boards were perfect. Like, yeah, that was probably my favourite. But then in this country, I don't know. I quite like playing at Telford. It was quite a good one. Telford was definitely a good one.
How did you do in the FISA games, the GB student, when you went?
We won one game. That was about it. We beat Sweden.
Oh, that's a good result.
Yeah, it was a shock. But yeah, it's definitely it was a tough tournament.
Yeah. I've got some questions now from the listeners. That's all right. And it looks like you might have had a little bit of company join you there.
Yeah, I was thinking I might have to move. Actually, yeah, I'll be fine for a little bit. But yeah, I might have to move into the next room in a minute.
No worries. So I've got so a few questions, not overly hockey related actually, but Ollie Bennett has asked, if you won the lottery, what's the first thing you'd do?
Oh God. Well, probably because obviously I don't know if you know, but I live in Bracknell, so it's a bit of a drive to Chelmsford. Probably buy a house in Chelmsford, so a bit closer to the rink.
Is that a lonely drive now? Because you used to travel with Mark.
Well, there was 5 of us at the beginning of the year, and I'm on my own at the moment. So, yeah, put a bit of music. Sometimes listen to the podcast, and just so a lot lonelier than it was.
Oh yeah, but if you've got the podcast, you've got me to keep you company.
Exactly.
Yeah. A question from Sophie Ashford: what music do you like?
Oh, I like a bit of everything, to be honest. It depends what I'm doing. Like, I like a bit of country music, bit of rock music and that. But I think the weird one is, like, if I'm working, doing stuff and I need to focus, I listen to music in a different language because I can't hear the words.
So it doesn't distract you?
Just like the background noise.
Oh, that's an interesting one, that. And Cara, who's added to her question, hoping that you're going to be black and gold next season, and that they love you and you're their favourite. What's your highlight as a Chieftain so far?
Highlight as a Chieftain? Oh, that's a tough one. There's been some good bits. I'd probably say it's when we beat Streatham away to make it into the day before Oxford.
Yeah.
Because if we lost that game, we would have been out of
the cup.
Right, so, like, I think the boys we all got together on that, and that was a big win there.
Yeah. So Sophia Gatlin, the sign girl, has asked, how did you chip your tooth?
It was a hockey stick, but it was actually during lockdown. We're playing street hockey.
Oh, was it?
Do you know the Romford goalie, Dylan Phillips?
Yes.
So good mates with him. So we were out playing some roller hockey just in a car park near us, and he was on my team as well, which doesn't make sense to me. But literally swung his stick up, caught me just round the tooth, just crumpled. Yeah.
So all the years on ice and all the stuff that goes on there, and it was playing roller hockey in a car park. Now, I've got a few now from someone who I would assume is a friend of yours and probably an ex-teammate, Milts.
Yeah, he's messaged me this morning about this.
Yeah. So he's asked, who beat you up worse, Rayner, Ben Ely Newman, or Zach for not cuddling?
The toughest one was Rayner, to be fair. I'll have to give it to him.
There is a great picture of that fight somewhere, actually, that I've seen.
I'd rather not see it.
Yeah.
Like, he's the first person I fought, and I've actually gone, like, this guy's punches are, like, he's a solid kid.
Yeah.
So definitely Rayner.
Then he's got a couple of random ones. He said, would you rather have 2 arms and 1 leg, or 2 legs and 1 arm?
Two arms and one leg. I don't know. Two arms and one leg. Nah, I don't know. Yeah, probably two arms, because then at least you can play like sledge hockey or something.
You can still play sledge hockey, yeah, with two arms. Yeah. And who's the best mobile Monopoly player?
Oh, it's me by far.
That's you.
Yeah, by far.
Is that a little time passer? Is it doing that?
Yeah, last season we used to play Monopoly in the car, and I was always smoking everyone.
Then we've got a little question from Rainer as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you like Clapham Garden benches?
I love them. Yeah, I'm not going to say why.
Yeah, I see. I'm sure that the answer to this isn't clean. I'm imagining like a little sleeping spot on a night out.
No, it's I'll let people use their imagination on that one.
Excellent. You just having to move yourself a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lecture starting in here, so I'll move into the next room. I won't be a second.
No worries, mate. No worries. Give me a chance to get the Chiefs briefs together.
Okay.
What are you studying at uni?
So I'm studying architecture at the moment. Doing the masters currently.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so it's a bit of work is why we're going to be here late tonight. But yeah, I'll pop up here for a bit. This should be fun.
Yeah, excellent. Right. Well, I've had a couple of new ones come in for Chiefs briefs, but I'm in desperate need of more. If anyone's got the imagination more than I have to give us some Chiefs briefs, but I'll go with what I got here, and I did get a couple of extra ones for today, so we'll add them in as well. I'll just scan up and find them. Right, hi. You ready to go with them then, mate?
Yeah, all good.
Right, hi. Right then. Spider-Man or Superman?
Ooh, yeah, we go Superman. I don't really watch stuff like that, but yeah, we'll go Superman.
No.
Sorry,
Are you a proper grown-up?
No, it's never watched them. Like, too busy playing hockey.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Going abroad or staycation?
Going abroad, yeah.
Yeah. Chinese or Indian?
Probably go Chinese.
McLaren or Ferrari?
Probably go Ferrari.
Scoring a goal or getting a shutout?
Probably say getting a shutout. Better for a D anyway.
Pizza or pasta?
Pizza, yeah.
Cam or Grant?
I can't answer that. They'll be giving it to me either way.
Black or gold?
Black.
NHL 1 North or NHL 1 South?
That's a tough one, but probably now I'd say South, yeah.
Good man, good man. Well, Dan, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. It's been really nice chatting to you.
No worries.
And we've got a couple of sort of one-game weekends coming up now. I think it's away at Milton Keynes on this Sunday.
Yeah, it's a few closer ones.
Yeah, that's still not great for you, is it, coming around the M25 and up the M1?
No, it's not too bad. But I found out, so Chelmsford is actually the furthest rink away from my house in the league.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, at least you only have to go there every other week.
Exactly.
For games.
Yeah,
twice a week for training.
Twice a week for training. But...
Excellent stuff. Dan, good man. Thank you very much for joining me. And I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you very much.
Cheers, man.
Take care.